No, what I'm saying is they already called him a weight bully. He beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury.
I see it, so you can't say that he's not a Hall of Fame if he's beat world champions, you know.
And also, when it comes to being great, it's not about just becoming undisputed. It's how you become undisputed.
TerenceCrawford dismissed Errol Spence's call for a rematch with a laugh, while also casting doubt on Spence's Hall of Fame credentials. Crawford pointed out that Spence has only competed in one weight division, unlike himself, who became an undisputed champion across multiple weight classes. You can't make the Hall of Fame off just 100.
Not think Spence will be in the Hall of Fame
right now? No, how? He fought in one division. He had the WBC, WBA.
He wasn't undisputed. He
wasn't
undisputed.
He wasn't. No, what I'm saying is they already called him a weight bully. He beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury. He beat Sean Porter.
In all fairness, he had to go over there to get that.
You know what I mean? That's a good win. I'm still a fan. I hope he do well. But like once it got to the point where I moved up in weight and I'm in the same weight as Spence, it's just like, oh man, you ain't fighting nobody. You this, you that, you this, you that. So now they trying to blemish my accomplishment just to boost him up. I'm like, dude, you're not going to do that. Because I can retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame. He couldn't. Everything that I've accomplished, he's still trying to accomplish. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on him. I honestly don't know if he make it to the Hall of Fame with the accolades that he didn't got right now.
147, Crawford said, downplaying Spence's legacy. Errol Spence has called out Terence Crawford for a rematch, making it clear he's eager for another shot. Despite his previous loss, Spence remains determined to run it back, insisting that—
Is there ever a possibility where you would rematch Errol Spence? Or is he in a position where he needs to win again before that makes sense for you?
The possibility is there. He's fighting for Door, for his title. I'm fighting for a title. And there's the possibility. He win his fight, God willing. I win my fight, God willing. And there's your possibility right there.
The rematch is still on the table. He believes he can make the right adjustments and prove himself against Crawford in a second showdown. Terence. Crawford shut down Errol Spence's hopes for a rematch with a blunt reply on Twitter. Responding to Spence's call-out, Crawford tweeted,
Same question, but I want your reaction. Is the Errol Spence rematch on the table still, or?
Nah.
All right, we're gonna wrap there. I'm trying to tell you.
Errol Spence Jr., sorry, buddy. You gotta wait in line, sir. With that, Crawford made it clear he's focused on other opponents for now, signaling that Spence will have to wait his turn for another shot. Terence Crawford's recent comments about Errol Spence Jr. have stirred controversy in the boxing world. Fans and analysts are split. Some say trash talk is just part of the game, while others feel it's inappropriate for a fighter of Crawford's caliber to downplay the achievements of a fellow champion. Boxing commentator Stephen Hops came to Spence's defense, calling it unfair to dismiss his accomplishments. Hops pointed out that Spence has faced top-tier opponents, including a—
I don't agree because he beat some notable names up there. You know, he beat Sean Porter, he beat Lamont Peterson,
Danny Garcia.
So you can't say that he's not a Hall of Fame if he's beat world champions, you know, and beat them like in a different way. So I don't agree with that answer right there that you said. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I feel like anybody who make it to that big stage and beat them big name champions is a Hall of Famer. He did something that nobody else done. So, you know.
Like technically, he's a three-time champ because he won 3 belts.
Yeah. He was unified. Wasn't he unified?
Yeah, he was unified. It was just one. He was one away.
So you can't say a person is not a Hall of Famer if he's unified. Once you unified, you made them history. I feel like once you become a world champion, you made them history books.
Yeah, once you become a world champion, you make the history books, of course. But I think
unified is Hall of Fame.
You think so?
Yeah.
Guaranteed?
Yeah, because you got all the belts.
Ruling war with Sean Porter. His record, Hops argued, speaks volumes. Spence isn't just a unified champion, but a highly skilled fighter who's consistently taken on elite competition. Ignoring that, he said, is both inaccurate and disrespectful. Since defeating Spence, Terence Crawford has received widespread praise for his skill and dominance in the ring. However, his recent remarks have left many fans disappointed. Some believe that a fighter of his stature should show more respect, especially towards someone like Spence, who has built an impressive legacy. Fan Ray Jackson voiced his frustration online, posting, "Terence Crawford said this back in January about us boxing fans. Now he's the one being disrespectful to Errol Spence. You can't make this up." His tweet echoed the sentiments of many who feel let down by Crawford's tone.
I can retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame. He couldn't.
Not think Spence will be in the Hall of Fame.
Right now? No, how?
Then, Bud, what you do? Because, Bud, Errol is your one, and you just shitted on him. I remember you dissing me on X because you want and deserve respect. And all of us are here to give it to you. But when you go shitting on another fantastic fighter who happens to be the marquee opponent on your resume, then brother, people gonna start flipping tables and they're gonna start looking at you. Bottom line, Errol Spence is great and you whipped his ass. Sean Porter is great and you whipped that ass. And what you're daring to do to take on Canelo Alvarez is beyond great. Now it's crazy. Good shit.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult also weighed in, acknowledging that while Crawford earned his respect with a commanding win over Spence, his recent comments have made some fans see him in a different light. According to Showbiz, Crawford's performance earned him admiration, but his words are starting to change.
When I said that Terence Crawford, his accomplishments aren't great enough, you had people jumping in my comments talking about two-time undisputed and all this shit. When it comes to being great, it's not about just becoming undisputed. It's how you become undisputed, how you become champion, who you face. Because hell, Devin Haney fought Kambosos to become undisputed in one swoop. What? That makes him as great as Ali? Hell no. So if you say that Errol Spence isn't a Hall of Famer, bud, we start looking at jobs. Let's talk about Spence. He got the belts and unified, but who did he take the belts from and what did he try to do with you? Spence's road that you're shitting on is more violent than yours.
One of the biggest debates sparked by Crawford's comments centers around the strength of Errol Spence's opponents compared to those Crawford has faced. Many argue that Spence had a tougher path to the top, consistently taking on elite-level competition. According to several analysts, becoming undisputed isn't just about collecting belts. It's about—
I haven't heard anything yet, and like I said before, it's in the contract, so it's not if I'm open to it or not. It's, you know, what's in the contract, and Errol gave me an opportunity and a shot at becoming the first male boxer undisputed, you know, in any division in a 4-belt era, and I honor, you know, that. And if he was to come to me or activate his rematch, then I honor.
About proving yourself against the best in the division, fight after fight. Terence Crawford recently spoke about the rematch clause in his contract with Errol Spence, confirming that a second fight is still on the table. However, he hasn't yet made a decision on the next step.
Like, yeah, you know, he's ready. Right when I seen that, I said Crawford wins. His movement, everything was, he wins. It doesn't matter if Spence was not strong or strong. He had more of the stuff to win that fight. And Crawford is a game player. He's gonna come. He coming to win. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I still say Crawford anyway, but I feel bad that we didn't see the true Spence fight Crawford. If that makes any sense. I just think that Crawford has more rhythm, more movement, more stuff. And not just having more movement, more stuff, he has the power and everything just to be one of those great fighters. He has everything. And if you have Spence is not one-dimensional, but in that fight, he was really one-dimensional, really stiff. And if they looked like they had really a lot of problems trying to get down to his weight, didn't have enough time to work on stuff they need to work on to, you know, attack Crawford or to do anything to Crawford. And then when they got in the ring, he was so weak. I mean, Crawford dropping him with right jabs. We're like, dang, like, just dropping him.
Fans are eagerly watching to see if Spence will get a chance at redemption. After Crawford's dominant performance in their first bout, a rematch could be Spence's opportunity to show he can adapt and come back stronger.
Has he exercised his immediate rematch clause?
I don't know if it's gonna be at 54 or 47, but I'm sure I'm sure he's probably gonna push the weight up. But there's no gonna be no change in the decision. The performance still is gonna be the same. It might be even a little bit better. So he might want to watch out before he activate the rematch clause.
Boxing legend Shane Mosley shared his thoughts on a potential rematch, stating that he believes Crawford would win again, regardless of how much Spence improves. Mosley suggested that instead of pursuing a second fight, Spence might be better off focused.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So what I'm saying, I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
On rebuilding his career and taking a different path forward. Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, echoed Shane Mosley's sentiments, predicting that a rematch would end with the same result. Bomac emphasized that Crawford's dominant performance in the
rematch and then go for other fights, or do you think this is kind of like the cherry on top, and after this he should more or less retire on top?
Bud has two options. A, he can continue going up in weight, see how far he can go. I think he said already 54 is his max, so he could campaign that going to 54, maybe doing a rematch, or like I said, let Errol get himself back together first, when it makes more sense, then do a rematch. You understand me? So for me, to let Errol get himself together first, then do a rematch is much better. To fight him right now, it's not good because, like I said, just the weight gain was not the only problem.
The first fight was no fluke, reinforcing his confidence in Crawford's superiority over Spence. Despite the loss, Errol Spence has made it clear that he still wants another shot at Crawford. He pointed out that if Crawford is open to fighting Canelo Alvarez, then he should also be willing to give him a rematch. Spence remains...
He make a plea over the international digital airwaves of YouTube. Let me make a plea right now to Terence Crawford. I understand you just beat him. You beat him thoroughly. You're the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, the WBO, the WBA, the WBC, the IBF titles, but you hugged him after the fight for a reason. I am making a plea to Terence Crawford. Even if you elect to give Errol Spence Jr. a rematch, please do not do this for at least a year. Please don't do that. Y'all are cool with one another. I'm begging you, my brother. I'm begging you. Because I know you got love, and I'm begging Errol Spence Jr., as good as you are, you were just outclassed. I say that respectfully because I got mad respect for Errol Spence Jr. Please, please, do not fight Errol Spence Jr.
Confident that with the right adjustments, he can deliver a much stronger performance the second time around.
That's dope, man. And I really appreciate you just being a regular dude who's very, 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 very skilled at something. I'm glad you're getting your